Hello everyone, my name is Michelle. Welcome to my channel. So today we're going to solve a question in the database category. The number is 262 and the name is trips and users. So that belongs to hard level questions that is very weird in the database category. So we have to cherish this opportunity to solve the hard level questions. So let's first read the description of this problem. It says that we have a table named trips. So this trips holds all the taxis trips. Each trip has a unique ID, while client ID and driver ID are both foreign keys to the user's ID as a users table. So users table is actually another table for this problem, and we will talk it later. So the status in the first table is actually have three different kind of status: completed, cancelled by driver, and also cancelled by client. Besides these columns, we also have a city ID and a request at. So request at actually give us the date information of the the trips information on the date. And for the other table is actually called users. So the users table holds all the users. Each user has a unique user ID and row in an enum type of client, driver, and partner. Besides these two columns, we actually also have a banner. So what is banner? Because we're going to use that later. We can read this paragraph first. It lets us write a SQL query to find the cancellation rate of requests made by unbanned users. So if the banner said yes, then that should be a banned user. If the banner said no, then that would belongs to an unbanned user. And the date is actually between October 1st, 2013 to the October 3rd, 2013. So for the above tables, which means the example of these two tables, our SQL rate should return the following rows with the cancellation rate being rounded to 2 decimal places. So first column is the day. We have 3 days from the October 1st to October 3rd. And then we have a cancellation rate which is will remain the 2 decimal places. So before we directly jumping and writing this SQL query, we have to review the function, which is a case 1. So what is case 1? I directly copy the information from the W3 skills, and you can also check some examples or samples on this website. But we have to go over the syntax and the definitions first. So the case the case statements goes through conditions and return a value when the first condition is met. So once the condition is true, it will stop reading and return the result. So like if we have a condition 1 met, and then we will just return the result 1. If we met like condition n, then we will just return the result n. If no conditions are true, it will return the value in the else clause, which means this one. And if there is no else part and no conditions are true, it returns null, which means it will return nothing. Okay, let's go back and start writing this SQL query. According to this problem, we actually need to figure out solve several problems. The first one is how do we select the unbanned users, and the second one is the date actually have to be between the October 1st to October 3rd. And the third one is we have to calculate the cancellation rate. And besides that, we have to group by the date because we only have 3 rows when we do the output. And the fourth thing or fifth thing, we have to keep the 2 decimal places. And we may or may not need to use the other functions or other things we have to keep in mind. So let's start writing first. As we did always, we will put the select at the very beginning. So we put select here, and then from one particular table. So since we have 2 tables, we have to select one of the table as the main table. It is very obvious that the trips table will be the main table. So we will put the trips here and rename it as table 1. As table 1. And we have to do is a join these two tables together. But what kind of join we're going to use? We actually need to use the inner join, because we want to find the things combine both of the conditions, and we have to consider that we want the client ID or the driver ID actually is unbannered. So for the first inner join, we're going to solve the problem with client ID which is unbannered. So we're going to inner join the users table and rename it as table 2, and the statement is table 1 dot client ID is equals to table 2 dot users ID. We can see that we have this user's ID here, and also have client ID here. So we have to find the person actually have the same ID, and at the same time we need to put another statement which is unbannered. So table 2 dot bannered actually have to be no, right? And we have to do the similar things for the driver ID. So we're going to inner join users as table 3. We're going to join this table again, and on table 1's table 1's driver ID, right, is equal to table 3's user's ID, and at the same time we have to maintain that the table 3's banner is actually equals to no, right? And after that, we have to consider this date. We have the date from the October 1st to October 3rd. So we're going to use the where statement. So where's the table 1's request? I can't remember. Okay, so this request at is between 2000, I think it's October 1st and 2013 October 3rd. So the date have to be between these two particular dates. And after that, we have to do is group by the table 1 dot request ID. Request at, because we wanted to only keep the one particular date at one time. So we'll do the group by, and after we do all of these things, we actually combine all the information together. So we have to select the output information. We have the first column, which is the day. So the day is actually the request at here. So we'll select is table 1 dot request at as day. And at the same time, we're going to do another thing and rename it as a cancellation rate. So what we're going to do is actually we're going to count the number of the cancellation trips and divide it by the total number of trips, right? So we have to calculation these two parts and then divide it by each other, and then keep the two decimals. So first, how do we count the number of the cancellation rate? Before we count, we actually want to know what kind of status or what kind of trip actually belongs to the cancelled trips. So we have 3 status: completed, cancelled by driver, or cancelled by client. So besides the completed, actually no matter it's cancelled by driver or cancelled by client, it belongs to cancelled trips. So in this case, we're going to use a function which is a case when function, right? So when the table 1's status is equals to completed, then we just count 0 because we only want to find the ones which are actually cancelled. So we will put else as 1 because no matter it's cancelled by driver or cancelled by client, is actually same. Both of them are cancelled trips, and we put the and here. So this is the way how we know which trip is actually we want to count or not. And after that, we actually need to count the total number of the cancellation trips. So we'll put the sum function here, and we will put this case when statement within these sum functions. So this is the cancelled trips, and we have to divide it by the total numbers of the trips. So we're using the count star to count the numbers of the trips within this table. And after that, we have to using another function which is called round. So for the round, the first part is the one you're going to calculate, and the second one is how many decimals you want to keep. So for this question in particular, we actually want to 2 decimals. So we'll put 2 here, and we're gonna to put all these kind of things to the first position. So this is all we want to calculate this cancellation rate. So we're gonna to put this one to here. So this is the way how we're going to calculate the cancellation rate. After that, we actually would like to do is we have to order by the date. We could see that the date is actually from the October 1st to October 3rd. So we have to order by the day because we already renamed as day, right? So why we are not going to put the ascending here because it is actually a default value. So if we did not put anything here, it's actually ordered by the ascending. So it will gonna to order it to the sequence from the smallest number to the largest number. So for our case, it's ordered by the smallest date to the largest date. And I think that is all for the solutions, and at the very end, do not forget to put the semicolon at the very end. Let us to just submit the code. I think there is something wrong. And unknown column table 1's client's ID. I think I spelled something wrong. So here should be the client. Let me double check. Client, right? So it's ENT. Okay, let's submit again. Okay, so our runtime is about like 200 milliseconds. It's faster than 38% of the online submissions. I think this is a good answer because actually we successfully passed this test, and it's just around like 200 milliseconds since it's a very hard questions. I think that is all for these questions. From the logic perspective, actually this question is not that hard, but from like we actually have to consider a lot of different functions, different syntax, and even like some medicines they just mentioned a little bit in their problems or descriptions. So we have to think a lot of things when we're gonna to solve these problems. I think the hardest part is we have to get very familiar with all the syntax and some of the functions. So I think that's all for today. Thanks for watching my videos. I wish you could like it. If you like it, please subscribe my channel and recommend my channel to your friends. Thank you so much and have a good night. See you.